these games sound familiar? Have you ever played any of them? If these classic games spark nostalgia, you're not alone.
Hi everyone, welcome to Devoted GG. In today's video, we'll dive into the power of retro games, their psychology, their graphics, their game mechanics, and the business models behind them. Why are these games still relevant? Before we start, let me tell you I spent a lot of hours in the making of this video, so please subscribe and like us. In the golden age of gaming, simplicity was the true maestro conducting the symphony of pixels that captivated our hearts. The allure of these old games lay in their unpretentious nature, a stark contrast to the modern gaming behemoths. In the realm of 2D classics, simplicity wasn't a limitation, but a gateway to timeless appeal. The controls were uncomplicated, the tempo was gentle, and this straightforward approach made these games turn into such great classics that they are even appealing to the Gen Z generation. Unlike contemporary counterparts, these games didn't spoon-feed players. Instead, they presented challenges that begged to be conquered. Recall the days of seeking a friend's guidance or flipping through magazines to decipher the mechanics of a confounding quest.
What is that?
Fire from the gods.
I don't know.
Boss battles weren't just hurdles, they were a triumph of skill and strategy. A celebration that propelled you to the next level. Mastering these games was an art, a journey that demanded resilience and cunning. Nowadays, games are greeted by prologues and tutorials that overstay their welcome, leaving players drowned in information. For instance, in Todd and Starfield's realm, some players quit after a few hours, missing the simplicity of earlier times. Back then, games didn't hold your hand. They granted you the freedom to chart your course. The first forays into 3D gaming were refreshingly straightforward. Armed with weapons and tools, players navigated levels, faced enemies, and sought to loot with a concise set of mechanics. In the ever-changing world of gaming, the saying, "keep it simple," rings true. It's not about settling for less, but finding a direct path to truly immersive experiences. Looking back, I see that the heart of gaming wasn't in complicated mechanics, but in the beauty of straightforward challenges. So what made these games become a classic? Let's embark on a journey through the time and discover of the art of the good old storytelling. Back in the day, pixels weren't just dots on a screen, but portals to brand new worlds. And storytelling was the art that formed that immersive and magical experience. At the time, hardware limitations made developers become virtuosos, weaving narratives that captivated the imagination. This stands in contrast to today's gaming landscape, where an abundance of stimuli from points of interest to 3D navigation can sometimes leave our minds overwhelmed. There's a certain nostalgia for the days when every pixel on the screen mattered, a simplicity that magnified the impact of storytelling. This is not a critique on modern gaming, but an exploration of a shift in focus. Contemporary game development often leans on graphics and cinematic effects, employing teams of screenwriters that are hired only to patch up narrative shortcomings. The essence of storytelling in old games wasn't confined to lengthy dialogues. A single phrase from an enemy could ignite the spark of a challenge, propelling players to storm castles with unwavering motivation. In the RPGs of yesteryear, every dialogue carried weight. Each word contributed to a tapestry of meaning. Today, however, we sometimes find ourselves wading through a sea of banality, confronted by a lack of inspiring plots that once made us care deeply. The magic of words seemed to have faded, replaced by a cacophony of disjointed narratives and awkward translations.
Sometimes I'll start a sentence, and I don't even know where it's going.
It's not a dismissal of progress, but a quest for the soulful storytelling that used to make every conversation in a game an extraordinary experience. As we navigate the evolution of gaming narratives, let's appreciate the beauty of bygone dialogues that once transported us into worlds where words had true magic. But let's be real, not only compelling stories are the holy grail of retro games. Game dynamics played a key role in making these games become a classic. Innovation, A look at game mechanics before the 2000s. In the beginning day, risk-taking wasn't a choice but a necessity. The gaming industry was at its infancy, and it was a wild west of uncharted territories where every unexplored path held the promise of something new and extraordinary. Successful solutions were game changers, unleashing a bombshell effect that reverberated through the industry. Very different to what's happening nowadays, where we find ourselves in a landscape dominated by proven mechanics. Market oversaturation has become the norm as the industry hesitates to step into uncharted territory. Why rock the boat when the familiar is a guaranteed success? Reflecting on the 90s and 2000s, I witnessed the birth of iconic games built around groundbreaking mechanics and innovative technology. Games like Wolfenstein 3D set the stage for a revolution, marrying new mechanics and cutting-edge technology in a symphony of gaming excellence. However, as budgets ballooned, the industry's appetite for innovating diminished over time. The allure of proof mechanics becomes too tempting, overshadowing the potential of new experimental projects. Gamers too play a role, demanding the repetition of beloved mechanics and series, so don't expect to see any difference in future versions of classic games. Mark my words, and remember, Call of Duty 50 and Diablo 10 will be about shooting terrorists and clearing dungeons. The truth is that despite the remarkable strides made in gaming over the past 2 decades, the core essence of gameplay seems to have remained entrenched in the nostalgia of the 90s and early 2000s. While the industry has witnessed breathtaking advancements in graphics, expansive virtual landscapes, the fundamental mechanics that define how we interact with games have remained the same as back in the day. Yes, modern games boast intricately detailed scenarios and visually stunning graphics, but beneath the surface, the heartbeat of gameplay often echoes the familiar cadence of its predecessors. The question arises, have we become so enamored with the aesthetic allure of gaming that we've neglected to push the boundaries of interactive mechanics? As the pixels have multiplied, the challenge remains. Can the industry revive the spirit of invention that characterized its earlier years and redefine the very nature of gameplay for the future? I hope so. Still, there will always be exceptions like the GTA series from Rockstar Games, who attempt technological revolutions with each new numbered installment. Although, even these giants succumb to the allure of re-releases and money milking, they are always searching for new game mechanics. It is only a matter of time to wait and see if the highly anticipated announcement of GTA 6 will bring us innovation into the game mechanics. So, the truth is, the more content there is, the less content there is. That's the paradox we'll discuss next. Business-oriented versus art-oriented. Once upon a time, gaming was the realm of enthusiasts, crafting magic with a programming book and 6 months of passion. Today, the landscape has shifted. Games have transformed into a formidable business enterprise. The rise of microtransactions, paid DLCs, and the era of remakes and remasters signals a shift towards a service-oriented model. A once personal craft now demands a spotlight on profit margins. Today's gamers are increasingly expressing fatigue with the prevalent service model in games. Take for instance the recent controversy surrounding the yet-to-be-released Suicide Squad game, which raised eyebrows due to its inclusion of service elements in the trailers. While the game may have undergone fixes, there is skepticism about whether the service mechanics will be entirely eradicated. Also, modern gamers, discerning and time-conscious, feel the drag of artificially prolonged game time without meaningful additions. The ubiquity of first-day patches and the race to sell raw, glitchy games raise eyebrows. Cyberpunk 2077, with its pre-release frenzy, sold 8 million copies, questioning the need for a flawless game when breaking even is a given. On the other side of the street, a walk down memory lane reveals a time when quality control was paramount. Games hit the shelves ready and finalized. Going gold meant a promise of seamless experience, not a 50-gigabyte update. The allure of expansive, captivating stories has dwindled, replaced by a binary choice, a brief narrative or an endless grind of side quests. In the quest for a gaming escape without endless grinding and pointless dialogues, gamers find solace in the embrace of old favorites. So, is everything truly lost in the vast expanse of modern gaming? Fear not, for amidst the whirlwind of change, a beacon of nostalgia awaits. Journey to nostalgia. There will always be those timeless classics, the familiar tunes of games from our youth that sparked joy in endless hours of entertainment. And this is the main reason why retro games still spark a light in every experienced gamer. Have you ever felt the tug of the grass is greener psychology trap? That yearning for the simplicity of the past amidst the complexities of the present? Let's delve deeper into the cognitive effect that often paints the past with hues of enchantment. The audience of old games forms a dedicated legion, individuals who shaped their gaming tastes during the golden era spanning the 90s to the early 2000s. Consider this. The average age of today's modern gamer is 34, a generation that not only witnessed but actively participated in the evolution of gaming during its formative years. The core audience, now grown, shares an intimate bond with the classics that once adorned the screens of their youth.
Ballet.
Our brain tends to remember bright and joyful emotions while often forgetting troubles and difficulties. This phenomenon extends to gaming experiences, where we recall an enhanced nostalgic image rather than the actual games played. Exploring sentimentality reveals the intricate connections between gamers and their pasts, shaped by shared experiences, timeless classics, and intimate connections forged during the golden age of gaming. So after all this, who will occupy the place of retro games? Indie games, the future. The answer is indie games. Indie game developers have a similar approach to the old school games where creativity knows no bounds and innovation takes center stage. Within the indie sphere, developers wield the brush of freedom, navigating a canvas unrestricted by the expectations that bind series enthusiasts. While budget and resources may be limited, these constraints serve as catalysts for emphasizing storytelling and unleashing a creative approach that transcends boundaries. What sets indies apart is their distinct philosophy. They don't strive to please everyone like their AAA counterparts. Instead, the authors of indie games craft experiences that resonate with personal inspiration, breaking free from the industry conventions and limitations. Here, in the unexplored territories of indie development, new masterpieces are often born, unique creations that defy the traditional mold of game development. As a testament to the power of indie storytelling, consider the captivating journey of Disco Elysium. Despite existing in an RPG based on text-based dialogue considered irrelevant by some, it weaves a tale that captivates the soul. Join in this exploration of indie magic, where every project is a labor of love, and every game is a testament to the unyielding spirit of creativity. Don't forget to support those talented projects, as the future of gaming innovation often resides within the vibrant indie community. Navigating the gaming crossroads. As gamers stand at the crossroads of gaming's evolution, it's evident that hyperrealism in graphics, once prophesized as the future, remains an elusive horizon. Obscured by the daunting cost of development, in a landscape cluttered with an overwhelming number of choices, our brains often seek refuge in the familiar embrace of well-established franchises, perpetuating a paradoxical state of choice paralysis. Amidst the challenges posed by profit-centric corporations, incessantly churning out game-as-service models, there's a glimmer of hope. Retro games stand as timeless relics, offering a solace and a reminder of the industry's humble beginnings. Moreover, the indie game industry emerges as a beacon of creativity, where developers wield the brush of unfettered imagination, unbound by the demands of profit-driven publishers. Indie games are the torchbearers of authenticity, navigating the same paths that larger AAA projects once tread. While indie development costs rise and graphics evolve, the essence of games remains untarnished, resisting the tide of standardized creations. In this dynamic realm, the indie world thrives as a haven for unadulterated creativity, a sanctuary where the magic of game development persists, undeterred by profit-driven agendas. So, fellow gamers, fear not the challenges of the industry's evolution. Embrace the nostalgia of retro games. Seek out hidden gems in indie ventures and witness the gaming landscape unfold as indie developers propel it forward, embodying the authentic spirit that has fueled our love for games from pixelated beginnings to the grandeur of independent AAA projects. As the industry continues its dance between innovation and profit, let's celebrate the enduring magic that makes gaming an art form that transcends the constraints of time and technology. Want an issue about indie development? Like, subscribe, and recommend in the comments worthy indie games that no one knows about. Stay devoted.